There is a misconception so deeply embedded in how most people think about wealth and appearance that it actively works against them every single day. The misconception is this: that the wealthiest, most powerful, most genuinely elevated women in the world dress to impress. They do not. And the moment you understand what they actually do instead and why, your entire relationship with how you present yourself will shift permanently. Because dressing to impress is a strategy built on insecurity. It is the visual equivalent of asking for approval. And the women who have real status, real power, real presence, they stopped asking for approval a long time ago. What they do instead is something quieter, more deliberate, and infinitely more effective. And most people walk past it every single day without ever seeing it. The first thing millionaires do instead of dressing to impress is dress for consistency, not for occasion, not for audience, for themselves, every single day, at the same standard. This is one of the most psychologically powerful signals a person can send, and almost nobody talks about it in the context of personal style. When your appearance is consistent, when you look equally put together on a Tuesday morning running errands as you do at a dinner event, you communicate something that no single impressive outfit ever can. You communicate that this is simply who you are, not a performance, not an effort reserved for important moments, just your standard. And that consistency reads as a form of quiet power that is immediately and viscerally felt by everyone around you. The way to build this is not to dress up every day. It is to establish a baseline that you never fall below. A clean, simple aesthetic that requires minimal decision-making but never looks like an afterthought. When your worst day looks like most people's best effort, you have found your standard. The second thing they do is invest in fit over brand. This is the detail that separates women who look genuinely wealthy from women who look like they are trying to look wealthy. A perfectly fitted garment from an affordable brand will always read as more expensive than a luxury label that does not sit correctly on your body. The reason is simple. Fit communicates that you know your body, that you have paid attention to it, that you have taken the time to ensure that every piece you wear was chosen with precision rather than impulse. Ill-fitting clothing, regardless of the logo on the label, signals the opposite. It signals that the garment was chosen for what it represents rather than for how it serves you. And here is the part that most people never consider. When something does not fit you properly, your body unconsciously compensates. You pull at the fabric, you adjust your posture to accommodate the garment rather than letting the garment serve your posture. You become aware of what you are wearing in a way that shows in your movement, in your comfort, in the subtle restlessness that comes from wearing something that was never truly yours. A woman who is perfectly comfortable in what she is wearing moves completely differently from a woman who is managing her outfit. That difference in movement is what people read as effortless. The practical application of this is straightforward. Before you buy anything new, ask one question: does this fit me exactly as it is, or am I hoping it will work? If the answer is the latter, it will not work. And if something you already own is almost right but not quite, take it to a tailor. The cost of a single tailoring appointment is almost always less than the cost of replacing the item, and a tailored piece reads as expensive in a way that no off-the-rack luxury item can match. The third thing is something so simple it will seem almost too obvious once you hear it, and yet it is the element most consistently missing from the wardrobes of women who are trying to look elevated. It is restraint. The wealthiest, most stylish women in the world wear less than you think. Fewer accessories, fewer colors, fewer competing elements in a single look. And that restraint is not a limitation. It is a statement. It says, I am so certain of who I am that I do not need to add more to make my point. Every element I have chosen is intentional and sufficient. Maximalism in personal style almost always reads as insecurity. The need to add one more thing, one more layer, one more accessory is the visual equivalent of over-explaining. And over-explaining is something that people who are certain of their own value never do. The edit is the most powerful tool in your wardrobe. Look at any outfit you are planning to wear and remove one thing. Then ask whether what remains is stronger. In almost every case, it will be. The fourth thing they do is maintain their physical presentation with the same consistency they bring to their wardrobe. And I want to be specific about what this means, because it is not about achieving a particular body type or spending hours on an elaborate beauty routine. It is about the details that signal care. Clean, shaped nails, skin that looks hydrated and tended to, hair that is intentional, styled, or deliberately unstyled but never neglected. These details are not expensive to maintain, but they require consistency. And consistency, as we have already established, is the most powerful signal of self-regard. The women who look wealthy do not necessarily have perfect features or perfect bodies, but their physical presentation always communicates that they have paid attention to themselves, that they have not let themselves slip into the background of their own life, that they consider their physical self worth their daily attention, and that quality of self-regard is something people feel before they can articulate it. The fifth and final thing, and this is the one that underlies every other element on this list, is that millionaires have completely decoupled their appearance from the need for external validation. They are not dressed for you. They are not dressed for the room. They are dressed for themselves, according to standards that exist entirely independent of anyone else's opinion. And that psychological independence is what creates the specific quality of presence that we associate with real wealth and real power. Because when you are not dressing for approval, you move differently. You hold yourself differently. You engage with rooms and people from a place of sufficiency rather than seeking. There is a specific expression that comes with dressing for yourself rather than for others. It is not arrogance. It is not indifference. It is a kind of calm absorption in your own experience that makes you magnetic precisely because you are not trying to be. People are drawn to those who are not reaching for them. It is one of the oldest and most consistent laws of social dynamics. And your appearance, the way you put yourself together each morning, either broadcasts that reaching energy or it does not. The choice of who you are dressing for is made before you ever leave the house. And sufficiency, that quiet, unshakable sense of already being enough, is the most expensive thing a person can wear. It cannot be bought. It cannot be borrowed. It can only be built through consistent choices made every single day that tell your own nervous system, I am someone who takes care of herself. I am someone whose standard does not waver based on who is watching. I am someone who already has everything she needs to walk into any room and belong there completely. So here is the complete picture. 5 things that the wealthiest, most genuinely elevated women do instead of dressing to impress. They maintain a consistent standard every single day, rather than performing for occasions. They prioritize fit above every other consideration because fit communicates self-knowledge. They practice restraint because restraint signals certainty. They tend to the physical details that communicate care and self-regard. And they have fully released the need for their appearance to earn approval from anyone outside themselves. None of this requires a larger wardrobe. None of it requires a higher budget. It requires a shift in the foundational question behind every choice you make about how you present yourself. The shift from how will this make me look to the people watching, to who am I when I am dressed for no one but myself. Answer that question honestly and consistently, and the result will be the kind of presence that most people spend decades and fortunes trying to manufacture and never quite achieve, because it was never for sale.